When I think about healthcare services that immigrant children might need, I think about several areas or domains. And when I'm talking about immigrant children specifically, I'm talking about children who were born outside of the United States. So one of the issues that I think about is acute issues that may be related to immigration, and that may depend on both the conditions in their country of origin as well as what their country of origin was and what region of that country they were in. So for instance, if somebody tells me I came from Colombia, there's a huge difference for me in terms of what problems we might encounter, depending on whether they were in Bogota or whether they were in a deeply rural community with limited access to coverage and limited services and specialty care. So that may really change the way that I think about problems that I might face. The second thing is that by and large, many people coming from under-resourced settings have particular infectious exposures that they may have encountered, not only in their country of origin, but also en route due to the conditions that we've placed them in, such as being in close quarters. So somebody may not have been exposed to tuberculosis until they got to a detention or processing center and then may have been exposed. So tuberculosis, I think about if they were not in a setting that they were had access to clean water or sanitary facilities. I might think a lot about parasitic infections or other gastrointestinal conditions. And then I might also think about acute worsening of any chronic condition that they have. And that can take place, for instance, if somebody comes to our border and their medications are confiscated by Customs and Border Protection. They may have an exacerbation of, for instance, their mental health condition if their mental health meds were taken away, or their seizure disorder, or their asthma. And so really thinking about if they were on treatment, making sure we get them back on it. And then there's the potential that they have chronic conditions for which they may not have had access to complete care in their country of origin or during their journey. And so this might include something like trisomy 21, Down syndrome, which I gave an example of earlier. That might include recommendations that that child has had an echocardiogram or an ultrasound of their heart to make sure they don't have a congenital heart defect. It may include things like making sure they've had a sleep study. We're at a pulmonology conference, so have they had the recommended sleep study at ages 3 or 4? And if not, how significant may the impact of untreated sleep apnea be for that particular child? And so I really think about these kind of 3 areas of acute issues, exacerbated chronic issues, and then undiagnosed or underlying chronic conditions.